How would you characterize the financial instability risks considering shadow banking's exposure to the property sector? And then, of course, there's this issue of local government debt.
Yeah, I think the banks has a very large exposure to the property sector in the sense that I think mortgage is about 70% of the bank's lending. In the past, the banks consider a home mortgage a very good quality asset, because Chinese property price has been going up for like 20 years, right? So it never looked back. But I think at this juncture, though, because property price has stopped rising, people have stopped buying, then some of the problem on the balance sheet actually show up. But having said that, more than 60% of the Chinese household, when they buy property, they use cash. So they pay more than 70% of cash. Right, so even though there are tremendous pressure on the Chinese property price, you're still talking about Chinese household fork out a lot of money a lot of cash when they buy houses. So even though if the property price goes down, let's say 40%, right? So the loan still would be intact. So I would say that the exposure is very large to the property sector. But then at the same time, because the down payment has been so great, it's less dangerous than the U.S. situation back in 2008. I think the bank's exposure to the property developers has also been very huge as well. Two of the biggest lenders of China altogether, between two of them, it's like 4 trillion yuan worth of liability outstanding. All right, so it's a lot of debt issue to be resolved. So that's on the property sector side. On the LGFV, I think we are less worried about the LGFV issue. If you look at the best performing assets this year, right? So it's the LGFV bonds that has been rallying this year, because people think that the central government credit is backing them, and therefore the risk of these bonds default is actually less than the property bonds. So I think as a result, LGFV is seen as a central government credibility issue, and because of that, they're going to get the backing, and probably it will take time to solve, but it's less an issue than the bank's exposure to property developers.